Well, it's that time again. The last video I made about the time lock progression servers, I kind of gave a rundown on what had happened over the months since launch, and in the end I mentioned a potential third server being opened up by Daybreak that would not allow people to box, to a degree. Well, about a week ago, they announced said server. They are calling it Phinigel, a true box progression server, and it will go live on Wednesday, December 9th. That's pretty much a week from now. So what is a true box server, you're probably asking? Well, it means people will only be able to run one instance of the game per machine. So people can still multi-box, but in order to do it, they'll require multiple computers. Now this isn't a true fix to the problem of boxing, but I imagine it will definitely fix about 90% of the major issues that the other servers have. I would rather a bunch of dudes running around with 2 or 3 characters over half the server running around with 6 mages any day of the week. And if they really can stop people from running multiple accounts on one machine, it means people who are boxing more than 2 characters will have a hard time because there is no automated programs to help them control their multiple characters with a single button stroke. There are a few other features that will set this server apart from the other two. If you haven't already watched my last 2 videos on the TLP servers, I covered a lot of the rule sets and issues the servers have, so you might want to go check those out first if you haven't already. So the first thing is raid instancing. The big targets from each expansion will be instanced, while bosses like Lady Vox, Lord Nagy and Finny will still be world spawns. However, the article goes on to say that these bosses will also be available to players via raid instances. So whether there's a difference in loot for the non-instance versions, I don't know. Instance raid targets have an account-wide 6.5 day lockout and will have the same difficulty as the non-instance versions. They also note that raid bosses on the progression server have had their difficulty increased since the launch of Ragefire, most probably to combat strength of monks and mages. Content will unlock every 90 days. There will be no server-wide votes to unlock each expansion on the Finny server, and the server will not wait for the raid content to be defeated before the next expansion unlock timer begins. Instead, every 90 days, expansion content will unlock on the server regardless of progression or situation. So in short, that's 3 months of Classic, 3 months of Kunark, 3 months of Velius, so on and so forth. They state that this is a server for players that want to move through content faster than the previous progression servers have allowed. So that's pretty much it, it covers everything. As I mentioned earlier, the server drops in about a week. I am kind of apprehensive from my experiences at the beginning of Ragefire through all the mess that happened in the following months, but hopefully by now a lot of those issues have been sorted out and this server will provide a much smoother experience. But what do you guys think about this new server? Have Daybreak finally figured out the best way to deliver the classic experience, or is it just another mess waiting to happen? Are you going to try it out? Give me your thoughts on the server in the comments below. For people wondering what's going on with Reptox and his adventures, I just haven't had much time to play P99 lately. October through January is always a really busy time for me, and that's one of the reasons I started the Cities of Norrath series, because it requires a lot less time to shoot. So anyway, you may or may not see me do more on the time lock progression servers in the future. It just depends how it all pans out. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.